Let's get started. What's new since Chicago for those of you who were in Chicago? Anything new that you're doing differently? Any ahas? I know, Maggie, you've really gotten some great things going. Anybody, would you comment, please? Anybody?
I'll comment. And I took off on Saturday afternoon, and went on a trip. But my biggest aha was my vision. That I wrote a vision that, yes, I always got stuff all over, like my things that I want to achieve. My ranks, I mean, I got master coordinator throughout my house, in my bathroom, on my mirrors, on my walls, because I figured nobody sees that, so I painted on my walls. So I've got that, but that didn't seem to really turn me on or fire me up or whatever. And I don't know why I didn't get this before, but writing my vision down there and making it all about building leadership, it was huge for me. It was absolutely huge for me. And I just got back, and I'm still in the rocky mode from getting off from the boat and trying to catch up and whatever. But I am fired up to rock and roll. You just watch us rock and
roll. That's great, Nina.
Yeah, no, I am very inspired. And, you know, there's other work that's been going on that I've been working on myself with, but I don't know why it was that what I wrote that time really spoke to me. I can't tell you why.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, in fact, I just got to share I wrote my story as well, but I wrote it really, it's short. It's to the point. But my vision is as a leader. So.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Anyone else since Chicago, or the things that you've said, this is what I'm going to do differently, or things I'm going to change?
I was talking to a couple of people on the group before you got here, Roland, and I was expressing how you walk away from a meeting like that, and you're in a meeting like that, and it all seems so clear and actually so simple. And then you get home and you get back into the life, and how many things are there to disturb you and get you out of that mode and get you out of the sink that you think you're in. And I have to be honest, I have not accomplished what I wanted to accomplish since Chicago, but I have accomplished more than I did before Chicago. And I've found that my best days are the days that I get up and I revisit the vision piece. And if I start with that in my mind to myself and revisit that, it kind of simplifies the rest of the day in terms of allowing the right things in and keeping some of the BS out.
Mm-hmm.
So
very good. Yeah, it's a great way to start the day. Courtney, you had something?
Yes, it's really made me even more driven than what we were before. Like you and I have talked, I want to stop cradling everyone and start to get the right answer. Like, instead of all this gray talk, I'm ready to move forward and build our team and be more of a leader instead of an enabler. So that's one big thing. It's really made me, I went and listened to the Mach 2 Hair on Fire. I started that. So between Clint and I, we've been doing a lot of listening to the training that we had missed from Richard from previous training that we weren't able to listen to. So we've been playing it in the background like crazy in the house in the mornings. And it's really nice because it gets your mindset, just like you said, Steve, with the vision. It just brings you back to go instead of all around. You know, it just kind of brings you back to center.
Mm-hmm. Good. Very good. Anyone else?
Roland?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to unmute my phone. It's Lisa.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm on the phone and the computer. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
I thought that the weekend was great. Like Nina said, it was a different way of writing our vision on who we want to become and who we are as a leader. And that was very good of, you know, writing the vision and then coming back and helping our different leaders to be able to share what they wrote and to write the vision and then to make that commitment on the video. That was huge Saturday afternoon. And I've been to a lot of things. You know, I've been to how many different kind of leadership weekends, and I just think Richard Brooke is the best. I mean, I love Eric Worre and I love all the other ones, but I just love his honesty and his integrity and how much he cares about Shackley when he doesn't make a dime off of Shackley and how much he wants us to be number one and help us to grow. And it was just a great, great weekend. So thank you to you, Roland, and all the masters for making this possible. So we want to fill the room triple the size next time.
Thank you. Well, there's a lot of dedication from the master coordinators. I believe I mentioned on the last Zoom that we met with Richard for about 4 hours on Sunday morning. And he really said it like it is, didn't hold anything back. And it's all about leadership. It's all about vision. It's all about taking responsibility. And I know it cost quite a bit to go there on Saturday and if you stayed for the whole weekend. But I want you to know that the costs were not covered. The master coordinators that were there are going to have to ante up to pay for the expenses. So if you're thinking that it's a profit-making deal, it's not. And we have yet to find out, but it could be about $1,000 for master coordinator, each master coordinator, to balance things. Richard charges a lot to come in. I don't know if you're aware of it or not. It's $25,000 a day. He's there for 2 days. That's $50,000, plus his air expenses, lodging, food, everything else. And so, and it was Friday night, of course, was televised or, you know, recorded. And to pay for somebody to record it, a couple $1,000s. But that's the dedication that this group of masters have to make things work. So they're putting out the funds to make it happen. The thing that I'd like to comment on is they're basically just three things. One is we must have the vision. Number two, we must help people with their vision. Number three, we must have coaching. If we do not have those, then I don't see it happening for anybody. Those three things. The thing that I've been explaining to people is about a vision. It's about who you will become or who you want to become more than I want to have the house, I want to have the car, I want to have the trip, I want to have this and this and this. It's who you become. And I was talking to somebody today about it and I said, okay, what would your life be like? How would you think? How would you talk? How would you walk in the bank? How would you get in your car? How would you drive your car if you're making $250,000 a year and you're a master coordinator? How would you do it? The quicker you can get into that role, like a person who is wanting to be in a play, the quicker you can do that, the faster it's going to happen. So you must start picturing and having the vision. Everybody does that in some way or other. If you're going to a party, and this is a Christmas party, it could be any type of a party, but it's a special party, you picture what you're going to wear, you picture the purse you're going to take, you're going to picture the shoes, you picture everything. A guy says, hey, got to have a new lawnmower. You picture riding the lawnmower, you picture cutting the grass, you picture everything before you ever get it. You picture kitchen cabinets before you ever get the cabinets. How about if you had a 1,000-piece puzzle and you have 2 days to put it together, but there's no picture? People are trying to put Shackley together, their business together, and there's no picture. And I'm talking about the picture of the feelings that you have. The feelings that you're going to have when you see some of your people walk across the stage and you're more emotional than they are. The feeling of getting on that airplane because you've been asked by Shackley to speak at the new directors conference. The picture of having a brunch on a Saturday morning, let's say, for some of your key leaders. Getting the feeling as though it's already happened into the mind it already has happened. And you'll wake up in the morning picturing those things. Noel Gale sent me some pictures of some villas in Jamaica. Boy, I tell you, Noel, I don't know if you got my email to send me that email address again, because I just sat here and thought about, wouldn't it be wonderful, the feeling of taking sales leaders there, taking the family there, taking all my kids there with their kids. I got goosebumps. If you don't get goosebumps, you don't have the feeling. If you're going to get a new dog, you get goosebumps. Planning. And people in Shackley think we can plan, but we don't have a vision. That's like trying to put in kitchen cabinets and you haven't planned one thing, you haven't looked at one picture. You just say, let's put them in. Let's bring in the custom cabinet maker and put them in. What's the size? I don't know. Just put them in. What's the color? I don't know. Put them in. What kind of wood? I don't know. Put them in. Shackley people have gotten into a rut of trying to plan, trying to move ahead without the picture of how they would feel. How they would feel. Like Richard said, if you have somebody getting a car, go with them down to the dealership and let them shop cars with you. Help them get the experience, because that's the second thing, is helping people with their vision. The stronger your vision and the stronger their vision, the less work you have to do physically. Isn't it true that when somebody's in very, very poor health and they say, help, whatever it takes, they start getting a vision of, boy, I sure hope I can get better. And they want to try something. It's always good to create a vision for the customer. How healthy do you want to be? How healthy do you want to be in 5 years? Learning how to help people with their vision. But I cannot do that until I understand the vision that is going to be a driving force every day to keep the discipline. If you have the vision, you're a master coordinator, you're earning $250,000 a year. You would start thinking about what you're going to do as a leader. Many people are thinking without that vision, I'm going to one day be a leader. No, you can be a leader tomorrow in your mind. You can be a leader in your mind in the next 5 minutes. And then you're going to start thinking, how would I handle situations? If you want to handle situations, like the person who lacks confidence. That's what a leader must do. Any good coach of any sport team helps people with confidence. That's what you want to do. I had a chance when I was out in California, my daughter and her daughter were on a basketball team. And my daughter says, well, you be the coach. I said, okay. It was encouragement, helping them with their vision of making the basket. But in Shackley, let me get you excited about all the things you can have, and that's gone in 30 days or less. Without the vision, people perish. And we must have the vision. And so I want to help people to have the vision, what life would be like, how they will talk to people, how they will act. You go to a party, and I'll bet you anything, if you're making $250,000 a year, you're a master coordinator and somebody says what you do, I'll bet you anything your answer and your voice tone, your response will be different than it is today. Unless you really believe you're in that situation. You're going to talk different, you're going to act different, everything is going to be different. So why not be different now? As though it's already happened. And you have that feeling that gives you goosebumps. You know what leaders do, and Richard really was hitting on this big with the master coordinators, because he put it out there pretty clear. He said, none of you are leaders. He said, when you come to a meeting like that, you should have been there a half hour early on the opportunity meeting. You should have been speaking up during the meeting on Saturday. He mentioned I was the only one that asked a question to help keeping things and moving in the right direction. He said, you come in, you sit down, and you wait for things to happen. If you're a leader, a master coordinator making $250,000 a year, you know what you're going to do? You're going to meet people and say where they're from. They're not in your group. You're going to make people feel good. Leaders make other people feel good. Tonight, we had 29 people here, about 30 people, more than 30 people, for a Christmas dinner. And half of them were kids that don't have much of a family. They've probably never been in a situation like this before. They don't know how to act. They don't know how to act. And so one of the things that I said before dinner, I said, we're in a festive time of the year and so on. I said, one thing that can be done is to be in that mood the year around. And you know what will help you do that? Is to say thank you. Because a lot of them don't even know how to say thank you. I said, when you go in the store and buy something, say thank you. You see somebody has a name tag on, and I said, call them by name and say, I hope you have a good day. I said, you will become a very special person. It will change your life if you just learn how to say thank you. You're going into a store, there's a crosswalk that you walk into that store, and cars have to stop for you. Just wave and say thank you. Learn to say thank you will make your day, and it'll make their day. And they may in turn make somebody else's day. It's passed on. So this next year, develop the habit of learning how to say thank you. And a number of these kids said thank you for having this dinner and everything. And I don't think they could have done that without me talking about saying thank you. It's a simple thing, but it helped them to develop a little bit more. A leader helps people to develop and to move ahead regardless of the walk of life they're in. Make their day. So the next time, if you're a master coordinator earning $250,000 a year, then when you go to a meeting, meet other people. Make them feel good. They're there for the first time, perhaps. You don't know who they are. Maybe it's their 50th time at a meeting. It doesn't matter. You make your presence known. That's what a master coordinator would do. That's what a leader would do. You don't have to be a master coordinator to do it. As an introvert, that's not comfortable for me to do. But I've learned that it's very important to do that. To recognize other people is so special. So what I believe you should do is what your life would be like, how you would feel, how you would think, how you would talk if you're a master coordinator and you're earning $250,000 a year in Shackley. Take time to write that out. That's part of your vision. The second thing, you must decide if you want to help other people with their vision. Maybe you don't. That's okay. Having customers and so on, that's very good. But if you want to build an organization, you must help people with their vision. You're going to have to go through some things with them. But if it's real and it comes from the heart, you will not offend them. But there are times that you must talk to somebody who is, they have a controlling spouse. And you must learn as a leader how to deal with that. So those are things that are very important as a leader, helping people with their vision. And then the third thing is being coachable. I've had an opportunity to coach my sons who have a winery, a vineyard in Michigan. And you could just tell that there was some disturbance in there that was not working well. And so a coach with a lot of love, but you have to have firmness. And so I told them, if you want my help, I will help you. Or you can continue doing what you're doing, and it's not going to make for good productivity. Or you can spend $30 in the next 6 months and get a professional coach. Those are your choices. And if you want me, I'll take my dad's hat off and I will be your coach. And you got to do what I say. Within 1 month, things have turned around dramatically in that winery. 1 month. It's all about people. You know, wine is wine. They've got incredible wine. They've won a lot of awards and so on. And most wineries have a building. This is a very nice building. But it's people. It's people. And you will learn people skills that are so valuable because most people in business do not have people skills. All you have to do is go into some office where somebody's just putting their time in. No people skills. What do you want? What can I help you with? It's not my job. It takes a leader to make that person's day when they're talking that way. Do you ever have these people you have to talk to on the phone and they're so businessy, and I kind of have to force myself to say, "Hi, how are you?" And they brighten up, and now they're ready to go overboard in helping me just by saying that. So those are the three things, and the things that I'm looking for are people in the Osterhaus organization that want those three things to happen: a vision, being able to help other people with their vision, and thirdly, want to be coached. And the other requirements are you must be willing to do in-home presentations. And the other requirement is you'll be focusing on building between 10 and 20 sales leaders in a relatively short period of time. The thing that we have fooled ourselves thinking that we can develop a director and then maybe in 3 months, 5 months, 10 months, develop another director. You don't get the group momentum. Here's the reality. If you have two people basically at the same point trying to achieve a goal, they will really motivate each other. If you have three, Katie bar the door. You've seen the YouTube of the guy dancing, and once you get three people, bingo. You get three, your workload is less than when you got started. Your workload is less. And many people have the misconception thinking that you're going to have more of a workload. No, it gets less because they're motivating each other. It's such a benefit when you have somebody in your group who's doing certain things and you say, well, just a minute, can we do a three-way call and listen to what they're doing? And I've done that with somebody, I don't remember who it was, but talking to Ruth Kuntz in Chicago, who has about 6 or 7 people now out there doing in-home presentations in the group. And she's not doing as many as she did. See, she's now into a leadership role where she can help these people with their vision and does this on the phone. You can be doing it while you're driving to work. So it actually saves a lot of time. So I'm looking for people who want to do that, and not everybody is ready to do that. And I don't care where you're starting from, but it's a no-brainer. It will work. It has worked for other people, many other people. One of the people, perhaps I'm going to start getting some other sales leaders on this Zoom, one being Pat and Don Semeka. They had their best year or their best month ever last month in their history. They've been in for probably 40 years. And they're bringing in lots of people. And they're doing lots of meetings. And they have people doing lots of meetings. It's pretty simple. It's very simple. So another one I'd like to have is Ruth Kuntz, because she's got all these people doing meetings. Pretty simple. So that's a requirement. You want to have a vision of who you will be. You're going to help other people with their vision. You want to be coached. And you're going to do in-home presentations. And you're looking to build 10, 20 sales leaders. Excuse me. Comments on this? What are you thinking? So it's up to you to give me a call. I'm not going to be calling you. It's up to you to give me a call. But any thinking on this?
Well, if nobody else is talk, I'll talk. Linda's going to talk. Let her talk.
We're doing this. We were at a meeting last Wednesday, and I'm going to talk about your vision casting for a minute back up here. And one of the things, it was a networking meeting, and they go around the table and introduce yourselves. You guys have all been there. And one of the questions she puts out there is something different than your business. And last week it was, what is your vision for your fantasy Christmas? What would that be? Not what you're doing now or what you've done in the past, but if you could do anything, what would that be? So I was like maybe number 12 or so around the table, and I was before Steve. So I was planning it out that he was going to back me up with what I didn't say. So most people were talking about spending it at home with their family, having a mountain cabin, watching the snow and all that. I think one person mentioned going to London to see the lights. And I kind of perked up when I heard that. So it got around to me. And you're supposed to tell you who you are and what about your business. So I said, I gave my name, gave the name of my company, and I said that Steve was going to talk about that. What I really wanted to talk about was my fantasy Christmas. I live in snow country. I don't have to go do that to see snow on Christmas. I want to go to Bora Bora. People leaned forward, and I said, I want to stay in one of those huts out on the pier where you've got that glass floor and you could see the water, and I want a maid and I want a masseur and a chef, and they're all just, their brains are exploding. So it got to Steve's turn. So he was able to cover the business and also throw in that he was going to be paying for Linda's trip to Bora Bora. But all of those people, it took them to a different place than what they normally do. And of course, I was taking my children and their children. They were going to have the huts next door. So it's also, like you're saying, helping people with a vision to vision cast. We've got this whole group of people. There's about 15 or 20 of them that they are getting involved in Steve and Linda's visionary world. So it's like we are prospecting this whole group of people that are entrepreneurial or self-employed and on their own journey, but they're getting a little bit caught up in what Steve and Linda are doing. So we're having a lot of one-on-ones that are getting quite interesting. So there's a lot of plans after the beginning of the year. But this week we've got a party for a different networking group that's, we're going to grow that. And then the next day we have an in-home with somebody that Steve knows. It's going to be at her house with a bunch of other vendors. And there's going to be quite a few people going through there. So she's given us pretty much carte blanche to do whatever we wanted to do. She's a Shackley member under us, and she loves the youth. So, and my thing now is the youth in the 180 program. So we're pretty focused on that right now. And we're going to expand that into taking those people and doing in-homes there. Then we're going to North Carolina in 2 weeks, and we're going to be doing some in-homes there with the same, the youth and the 180 program. 10 years younger and 20 pounds lighter.
Fantastic. Sounds like you got a plan.
Got a plan.
Got a plan. Very good. Anybody else? Any questions about the vision? Any questions about the coaching? Any questions about anything related to that? I'd like to know what you're thinking.
Roland, I don't have a question per se about those pieces, but I think you hit the nail on the head with me anyway when you're talking about giving the vision. But it's not just a vision, it's the feeling that's evoked from that feeling. I think that's part of what is going to push you and drive you to make that phone call that I sit here and I'm like, I really don't want to do that. I don't want to call. I don't want to call. But when you get that vision, you're drawn to it. You're pulled to it so that you're really thinking about, why am I doing what I'm doing? Even though it might be severely uncomfortable, which for me, it really, really is, making some of those phone calls to people who I haven't talked to in a few years, because I didn't know how to do it at first because I wasn't getting the coaching. I had the vision, but I wasn't giving the vision, and I wasn't getting the coaching like I needed to. And so I think that feeling piece is so important, to put everything together and to realize that it's not just your vision or your feelings that you're evoking, but you've got to create that for other people. And so there's so many different levels of the vision and the feeling, and it goes right down to the roots of your customers. What vision am I giving them? And like you said, we are giving them the vision and the hope of better health and wellness, which most people who come to us, that's what they're seeking. When people message me, I've heard that you helped with whatever, X, Y, and Z. Can you help me? So we create a vision for them. This is what's helped other people. If you want to hear more, I'd be more than willing to, share with you. So that vision and the feeling that it evokes, I think, is super powerful.
Yeah, it transcends anything else. And it's what moves us and keeps us moving. It's just like tonight preparing for the party. This was several days in the preparation, getting all the food, getting the gifts, getting all these different things. It was, it was a lot of work. But the vision was that these kids would enjoy something they perhaps have never enjoyed anything like this before. That was the vision. The vision was that there was a bonding that would go on with these kids, because there's probably not a lot of trust with people, especially somebody that's white, because they're all black kids. And so that was the vision. And so I would wake up in the morning thinking of what I could say when we were getting ready to eat before that. And so my whole talk was right there in the morning, that I went over several times when I was riding in the car because of the vision. And I probably went over that talk that only took about 4 minutes. I probably went over it 15 times in my mind, at least, before I ever said it. Why? Because of the vision. The vision kept prompting me to do it, to go over it again and again and again and again. And so it's the vision that drives us, so we don't have to drive ourselves. And it makes it so much easier, because while I'm sleeping, my subconscious is preparing what to say. Very, very simple. So that's so important to have that vision.
Roland, what you just shared is so bizarre to me, because this has been in my goals for several years, to do exactly what you said there. Except mine was to give them out a coat, to give them a talk to help them believe in who they are. And then the third part of it was to give a gospel message, a short, because I thought that's something you can do to make a lasting difference.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had this written out multiple times for years now, several years, but I've never thought I've been good enough to start it. I had it in my head, it had to be this big grandiose thing. But to do it in your house, yeah, wow.
Wow, it was an experience I will not forget.
I'm sure.
I mean, what I won't forget is how they were so receptive and appreciative, and they felt comfortable really communicating with us in a different way than they've communicated before, because I've gone to their groups. It's every Tuesday. It's put on by the church, but we play basketball and so on to get them there, then serve food, and then have a little interaction.
Yep.
Interaction. At this point, no religion, just interaction.
Oh.
In other words, would you put down on a big piece of paper a timeline of your life? Okay. And they can't get serious because they don't know what it is to be serious about something. Mm-hmm. So like one boy had his name on the side of this paper, and I'm sitting behind him. And so I could see he has nothing on this side. And he's reading, he's saying I was born at a certain time, and at the age of 4, I had my pet dog that died, and then this happened, and this happened. He all made it all up. It's hard to get them to be real. I mean,
didn't know
it's hard to explain that, but it was hard to get them to be real about, they just want to say crazy things and joke, and they were more real tonight. More real than I've ever seen them before. What an accomplishment. That's what I will never forget. The end result, you must have more details of the end result than of the present, which I've been saying for many times. And it just fell together. I mean, that's the other thing. Things get done, things fall into place. I mean, it was incredible. A friend came over and who's an interior designer and said, I will help do great decorations around your house. And a nephew comes over and helps with making the cookies. And it was just, people help when you have a vision. If you don't have a vision, how can they help you? To get active and get excited? That's not going to happen. They're going to get involved when you have your vision and you share your vision.
And I don't think that we understand how powerful what we do in this business is for ourselves even.
Yeah.
Because I've talked to so many people that said, well, I have never ever been taught how to set goals. I don't know how to set goals. Nobody's ever told me to set goals. I just went out and did what I thought I had to do.
I had to do, yes.
And I had a conversation with somebody tonight that was saying, everybody is so trapped in their jobs and they're all such and I said, isn't it amazing? We have had the guts, because it takes guts, it takes risk for us to go out and try and do what we're doing, because you have to become vulnerable. Or you can stay penned in this position. There's no vulnerability there. You can trash everybody and I mean, all the garbage that goes on in the workplace. I'm just like, we are so blessed. And so the influence it's made on all of us, therefore the influence that we can make on others.
Yep.
It's pretty awesome.
It's powerful. It is so powerful.
It is.
I was just thinking about, I can't remember what Nina said to jog my memory about this, but I know I've had this talk many times with you, Roland, about I have to versus I want to or need to, you know, those types of things. I remember growing up, you know, like, I want a house, I want this, I want that, I want to have kids, you know, I want to go to college, I know exactly what I want to do, I know what I want to be, I want to do this. But then it was like, okay, when you have all those things and you're an adult, now it's, I have to do this. Instead of, I want to do this anymore. All of a sudden, there was like this great big huge light bulb, and all the things that I want to do, I can't do them until I get to my vision, until I get to where I want to be in Shackley. I want to give back to the school that I worked. You know what I mean? Like, I want to give the teachers money to do things. I want to do this. I want to give some of those kids on my caseload, you know, gifts and presents because I can. just because I can, and I want to help them, and I want to see what their face is going to look like. I want to do that. I'm just now realizing that I can't do the things I want to do until I create the vision that's strong enough that's going to get me there to do those things that I want to do, instead of have to do them. You have to change it into a want instead of you have to. I get it.
That's right. We miss out on a lot of enjoyment because we can't do those things, especially for other people. And that's, that's.
I had my brother here today, and he just overcame. Well, he's an addict. He's been an addict for many, many years, and his life is totally turned around. He's a different man. He's totally clean. The Lord has helped him get through it, bottom line, and he's doing Bible studies and whatever. And so he got through his court case, and he said to me today, he said, I just feel like I have an empty, he said, everything was focus, 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 go, 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 get this done. I have an empty bag sitting in front of me right now. I feel like there's nothing to do now. And I said to him, I said, you are such a smart guy. I said, you connect with people so well. And I said, I know you're on disability, but have you ever thought about maybe looking at Shackley again? Because then you'd have goals again. And he said, I've actually thought about it because his ex, he said, we made $1,500 just like that in the past. He said, I can do that. I know so many people. So here was somebody who thought he was without hope again. What am I going to do with the rest of my life now?
Boy, that's so important to give hope to other people. Just like these kids that came here tonight, to give them hope.
Yeah.
Like one boy said to me, I want to have a house like this. I said, you can. I said, it's all in your thinking. Which he doesn't understand that, but maybe someday he's going to ask me, what did you mean by all of my thinking?
Yes. And that was our conversation too.
It's changing your life. That's what it's about. What I like to do is a role play right now, because I believe we all have people in our groups, most everybody, that have been around for a long period of time, been using products, some not using products and for a period of time. But the question is, where can I look to find new people? Where can I look to find business in my own backyard? And there are some of you here that probably have 300 or 400 people who some buy and some are not buying. So here's a scenario. Calling somebody, especially who's a third, fourth, fifth, or sixth level to you in customers, those are the ones you want to talk to. You've probably never talked to them before. But how do you talk to them? As a friend. And you have nothing to lose for many of them because they're not using any product anyway. And some will say, I want to get back to it. Some will say, no, I'm not interested. I don't know. But it's going to help you more as a leader, because this is what a leader would do than anything else. Like I called somebody the other day who I saw order something, and I haven't seen this name before, so I called, and what I do is introduce myself, because she didn't pick up the phone, and say, I'm Roland Osterhaus in Shackley, and I have a question for you. Would you please call me back? I do not say I would like you to call me back. I have a question for you. Would you call me back, please? Now, this is something that you can repeat, role play, or say it and hear how you sound. So it's not just the words, but you could sound very wishy-washy by saying, this is Roland Osterhaus, and I have a question for you. Would you call me back? Your voice goes up. Nope, voice cannot go up. So the scenario is, I'm calling somebody who used Shackley 5 years ago, maybe. And it could be a person who's just ordered some products. If they've ordered products, that's one scenario. Basically, it's somewhat the same, except I want to thank them for ordering products. And this is a situation where a person hasn't used Shackley. So you always want to start out with a compliment. Okay? And so that's the scenario. Who wants to role play?
Okay.
Roland, are you asking the questions and I'm just the receiver?
Yep.
All right, I'll do it.
Okay. Let's say in this situation, you've either called me back or you've answered the phone. Okay? And so you answered the phone and you say,
Hello? Hello?
"Hi, is this Lisa Smith?"
Yes, it is.
Fantastic. This is Roland Osterhaus, and I am a distributor in the business that you're in with Shackley. So
Oh, great. Hello.
I just wanted to
Sorry.
first of all thank you for being a member in Shackley. That's very, very nice. That's great. So how long have you been living in Wheatfield? I understand you're in Wheatfield?
Yes, I live in Wheatfield. I lived here my whole life.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yes, I
most
have.
people, when I talk to them, they say, "Oh, I've been here for 5 years, 10 years, or whatever." And I always say, "Where have you moved from?" But you haven't moved much.
No, I just moved down the road in my dad's mill and my dad's cornfield. Just a few fields down.
Now, is Wheatfield a large community or is that rather small?
It's rather small.
How
It's a
big
little
is it?
bit bigger than Hooterville.
I don't know anything about Hooterville, but Hooterville sounds pretty small.
Hooterville's on Green Acres.
Oh, okay, okay. Is there anybody in the town you don't know?
Probably not. I probably know just about everybody in Wheatfield. That's the truth.
Wow, interesting, interesting. So what do you do, Lisa?
Well, am I supposed to tell you I'm a Shackley girl? Just make something up.
Make something up.
Okay. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I also do hair out of my home. I'm a stylist.
Really? How many
Mhm.
kids?
3 boys.
Oh my goodness. How old are they?
Our oldest son is 28, and he's married to my
Okay.
daughter-in-law, Kelsey.
Wow.
Our middle son is 24. I had to think for a minute. They're getting so old so quickly.
Yeah,
And Noah, our baby, is 18, and he's a senior in high school.
your baby.
My baby. He
Your
don't like that. I'll call him the youngest of the 3 boys. He don't like to be called the baby.
I'm sure he doesn't. I can just see you're dropping him off at school. Goodbye, baby. He
Yeah, he's
probably wouldn't like that.
6'4".
Oh
Baby
my,
Huey,
my.
right? He's 6'4".
Oh my goodness. No, you don't want to call him baby. That would not go over well at all. Oh, very good. Well, I just wanted to say hi. And I don't know if you have any questions about Shackley. Also, I just wanted to check to see if you want to remain a member in Shackley or not. It's up to you. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to know so I can let Shackley know.
Well, I appreciate that, Roland. That's very nice of you to call and follow up with me. I appreciate that. And yes, I love Shackley, but it's just been a while since, I've ordered anything. Can I get a catalog or something that I could look at the products, or can I go online, or?
What a great idea. Would you like me to send you a catalog?
Well, sure, you can. I know that costs postage, so if I could save you postage, is there a website that you have that I could look at the products just to see what's new? I don't think I've ordered in about a year.
Okay. Well, yes, you could go to a website, but the best scenario is that you have a catalog that you can go through. And if you have any questions, then you can say, as an example, I have a question about this product on page 25 or something like that. Because what I try to do is to help people with, if they're interested in using the product or whatever, and make certain that they're happy with it. Is there any particular product that you have an interest in or that you used in the past that you have an interest in?
Well, I'm real excited because, you know, I came into Shackley with the skincare and I just haven't had an opportunity to try all that. I think it's called Youth. Once, you know, I see emails once in a while, but you know, being a stylist, I'd love to try that skincare.
Oh, fantastic. Really? How long ago were you using the Shackley product?
Oh, well, goodness. I came in through my dad like 30 years ago using the products and fell in love with the skincare then and the makeup.
Wow, that's fantastic. Well, how would you like to set up a time when I can show you the skincare, because we have skincare for different types of skin. So, you know, you're trying what you feel is best for your skin, and there's no cost or anything else. And I can do that for you.
Oh, that would be great. Do I come to you or do you come to me? I would love that. That would be fun. Maybe I could bring my mom. She would like that.
Okay. Whatever you want to do. You can come to me or I can go to your place. And here's something you can think about if you're interested and if you like the skincare. Then let's say, for instance, you have 3 other people there at the skincare, and they get to try it as well. And if you have other people there at the skincare, 3 of them, then I can give you $100 for free product of whatever you like, if you like it.
Wow, that would, you know what? I could do that. I could get my daughter-in-law to come and probably my best friend Lisa. She would love that.
Good for you.
I would love to do that. Could we possibly do it after Christmas, though, with everything coming up?
What a great idea. Sure, sure. Is there any particular time that would be good for you?
Well, let's see. Probably evening, maybe an early evening. Or, you know, I could check with my mom and Lisa because Lisa doesn't work during the day. I mean, when are you free?
Well, what you can do is if you could come up with a date, and I'll tell you whether it would work for me or not. You know.
Okay.
But many evenings I'm free, sure. So
that would be fun to do it with my girlfriend and my mom, and I could get a third person, and $100 in free products sounds great. You know, I just want to get back on my vitamins. You know, I kind of got away from them, and I felt so good on the vitamins.
Good for you. What did you notice when you were on the vitamins?
Oh, I had a lot more energy.
Okay.
I got away from the protein shakes, and
you
know, we took that strip, that vitalizer strip.
Okay.
I was doing that, got away from it, you know, just got out of the habit. But I'm so glad you called because I want to get back on Shackley and feel better.
Good for you. Well, that's so good to hear. That's really good. So how do you feel about this? If you talk to, say, your mother and your daughter-in-law and so on to see what would be a good time or a couple good times for you guys, then you can let me know and I will tell you what time will work for me.
That sounds perfect. I'll talk to my mom tomorrow and I'll be seeing Lisa this week in Kelsey.
Okay. Tremendous. Well, sure great talking to you, and I love your enthusiasm. I mean, I can tell you've got a lot of enthusiasm for life, I would say. So that's good, and love your laugh. So
yeah, well, we love to have fun, but I'm looking forward to seeing you, Roland. It's been a long time. I appreciate your call so much. And you have a Merry Christmas, but I will get back with you in the next couple days.
Fantastic. Okay. Appreciate talking to you, Lisa. Have a good day.
Thank you, Roland. Merry Christmas.
You too. Comments?
I can't wait for that skincare and that $100.
You would.
But you know what, Roland? So many times I've had calls like that, and they may not have gone exactly like that, but I've had them lead into that, and that's all part of the skill of leadership is to just keep complimenting. You kept complimenting me, but I was blushing, you know.
Yeah, I don't know what things that you picked up. Number one, I identified myself, and I said it slowly.
Yes.
Because otherwise they're trying to figure out, you can't say it fast. And then, as soon as I could, I did not talk Shackley. I complimented a couple of times when she said her name. I complimented the fact that she used Shackley in the past. And then we talked about something else. And it's so good if you can laugh with people. It's okay to let your hair down and just laugh. We could laugh about Wheatfield, Indiana.
There's more than corn in Indiana, and it's true. You've been here,
right.
Roland.
And so we could laugh. I mean, I felt in that period of time, we really bonded. And the most important time is when we're chit-chatting. She didn't open any doors to any relatives or anything else, but we pursued the line of finding out what she's interested in, wanting to have a skincare. And yes, she could come to my house, but I want to meet more people. So I'm going to go to her house, and she's going to have 3 people because she wants $100. If she said, okay, I'll get 3 people and bring them to your house, it may be a lot longer than we want, trying to get 3 people to say, yes, I'll drive, whatever the distance is. But coming to her house, the likelihood of having it set up quicker are much greater. This is something that I feel everybody should role play in talking to people in their group. Introduce yourself and become a friend and laugh and enjoy it and enjoy complimenting them on every idea. That's a good idea. That's a fantastic idea. Instead of saying, oh, that's great. That's wonderful. Okay, that's good. Okay, what else are you looking for? How long do you use the protein? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yep. Use anything else? Vitamins? All right, that's good. You use the vitamins. Okay. Just
And you
sit
didn't pitch,
back and relax.
your voice. You didn't
Pardon me?
pitch your voice too high where it sounded fake either, Roland, you know?
I know. I know.
I had 2 telemarketers call me and they ask for Lisa now. And they act like they know me at first and they get me to say it's Lisa. And then, boy, they start rambling and I just click.
They don't build a relationship.
Mm.
I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible. Anything you noticed? Any comments on this? Well, I'd like to do a role play on every one that we do of some sort, because we must get good at communicating. We've got diamonds in our own backyard. These role plays will help you with a new person as well. Become a friend. And a lot of people think, well, it's going to take a long time to build a relationship. Yeah, about a minute and 20 seconds. You start. You're not going to have the most fantastic relationship, but you build one. You really start to build one that's pretty good. In other words, I keep going back this evening. I had to build a relationship with these kids right away. It was some simple stuff, patting them on the back tonight.
Roland,
Yeah.
when you said the kids came over, I didn't get the whole story. Did you tell it last week or something? Are they like from an orphanage or are they from the church?
Most of them are from broken homes.
Okay.
Every Tuesday, the kids come in, they play a little basketball and stuff, and then they have a meal. And some kids say, this is basically the only meal I get. I mean, they eat other food, McDonald's and stuff like that, but this is really the only main good meal I get per week.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
they got it rough. I mean, and they've got rules when they come to the gym. No puffing. I learned about puffing, you know.
What is that?
Man, what is that, Roland? Tell us, what's puffing?
I don't know the details. I have to find out, but it's puffing something illegal,
Oh,
you know. And so what's so good about it is also realizing that people live differently than you do, than I do, and how to relate with those people. I believe because of the skills that I've learned in Shackley, I could relate with those people much better than I could have years ago. I know, as an introvert, but I could relate with them and make their day. We're in the business of making people's day, making them feel good. We must learn that skill and stop worrying about ourselves.
okay, Roland, after our conversation this afternoon, I found out I have 656 members. I send out, I mean, I've got maybe, I think that we've got maybe 10 people that come in here a month. And we have 65 to 70 people online every month that order. I mean, a lot of those we put in. Hearing
Right.
you do this instead of role playing, it's like, you can do this.
Yeah, you can.
I think that there's 10 directors in there.
Oh yeah, there are at least 10
And
directors.
600 people. What
Right.
did Richard say? There's 4 aces out of every 52.
Yep. Yep. At least. And they'll find 10. They'll find 10.
And you're so right, Roland, when you start calling people, because I had a list, you know, just kind of using anything like how you doing or Merry Christmas, but the specials that Shackley is doing, I'm just getting so much response from that. But it's a reason for me to call, because I had my Christmas party last Tuesday and we had 20 people at night and 10 during the day. And we had 5 men here with their wives. It was great. And we do the white elephant gift exchange, and I provide products, and, you know, they had fun. We do testimonials,
Sure.
and, you know, they fight over the big gift, and, you know, they get to steal the Shackley product. But I'm just calling those people that say couldn't make it, or, hey, you know, how you doing? How you ready for Christmas? And then, by the way, oh, you know, Shackley's got this special, and they ask me before I even have to say anything. We don't have to ask for an order. It's not why we call.
That's right.
And,
Please don't ask for an order. That's the last thing you do. Never ask for an order.
Do you know what? I used to do that. My secretary would give me a list of all the names, and I would get on the phone and just say, hey, I just wanted to call and see how you're doing and tell you our specials this month. And I would do that, and every time I did it that night, I'd walk away with 2,000 PV. I used to make phone calls.
yeah, and the thing is, when we text people now, some of them won't even answer the text, but some people, I looked at my youth order, that report from Shackley, like who bought youth, and just either send them a text or call them and said, hey, did you know Shackley's got a free product today? Merry Christmas. But I'm also appreciate you so much for being a friend and a customer that I'm going to give you something free as well. And I didn't get to call as many as I wanted today, but I did get some responses in text messaging, and then said, can we get on the phone? I'd love to hear your voice. It's been a while. And I called Anita out in Arizona, and she put a $150 order in because she loves youth. And she got a free serum today. She appreciated that.
Yeah, that's right. $150 order serum. That's right. Very good. Well, I want to thank you for listening so well, taking the information in, and I believe in all of you. And if you're interested in really producing a lot of directors, it's up to you to give me a call. I do want to introduce someone who's going to be a new director next month. We've done a lot of communicating, a lot of talking. I believe it's going to be next month. And that's Michelle Manson, who is on Zoom here from New York area. And
yay, congratulations.
she and her husband, Rob, are setting up a meeting that'll be doing in New York the 10th or something like that, I believe. And when you have a vision, then you start figuring out where you work and who you work with and so on, and you plan it out. And I believe I could call people in my group and find more directors, but that's not where my priority is. So I'm only looking to build a director now, but I want to help other people to pick up on the leadership. That's where my key focus is. And so, but anyway, Michelle Matson's doing a great job, and they have invited a lot of people, and it's going to be a fun meeting. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. They're going to be good. Okay, thank you for being on.
You have pretty teeth, Michelle. And a pretty smile, she does.
She does. She's got a great smile. It's a really nice smile.
Congratulations.
Yep. Okay. Thank you for being on. We will talk. Let's see. What's next week? We'll still be on next week, I guess. Tuesday. Yep. We'll be on next week.
The following week is Christmas. Ooh.
Yeah. And so I want to hear from you. Please, to get the most out of this, I've got to hear from you. I've got to get your questions. I can't believe that everybody has it all figured out how to have a vision. or how to help other people with their vision. There's some simple things that can be done. I want to talk about those simple things that can be done that don't cost a dime to help other people with their vision. So we'll talk about that next week. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So